Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. Now, for the benefit of those of you who are not familiar with the channel or watching this channel for the very first time, it is called Uncommon Sense because here on this platform, this insignificant platform, we discuss everyday issues where we try to find logical solutions. But not everyone uses logic. For that reason, it is called uncommon sense. I just want to let everybody know that I'm currently live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. As always, I want to give a huge shout out to all those who have already subscribed to the channel. Thank you very much. I also want to give a huge shout out to all those who follow me on social media. And I want to give a huge shout out to all those who allow me to enter in your devices. So, what I'm going to ask you to do the following. If you have not done so, please subscribe, like, and hit the bell notification to all. So, therefore, whenever I do produce content, you will have the opportunity to catch it live or catch it on the playback. And I see we already have a couple of people. Okay, so okay, okay, and I see here that yes, Donna, yeah, yes, Donna Mano, you are the first one to arrive. Thank you very much for stopping by. And we also have the presence of Reese, oops, from Philadelphia. Good evening, sir. Thank you very much for stopping by. Um, So, the topic for tonight would be how to avoid depression during the holidays. And the reason why we're having this discussion, for most of us, when we approach the holidays, it's a happy time because we're with family, we're with loved ones, we're with friends and neighbors or what have you. And we are going to spend time in fellowship, breaking bread. We might watch some sports and what have you. And the holiday season, usually it's between Thanksgiving and New Year's. Unfortunately, for some people, this is not a happy time. So before we get into the topic, there's something I'm going to need to address, which is why we're going to have an edition of what the heck this is. Okay, now you're probably wondering who is the recipient for the what the heck this is we award tonight. I'm going to tell you who it is. It is my friend, um, Hybrid the Vanquisher. Okay. Now, why is he the recipient for the what the heck it is award tonight? Because apparently, I'm living rent free in his warped little mind. Okay. He did a reaction video about me talking about that I'm an old senile man and that I have an insignificant channel. Okay. First of all, Hybrid, thank you very much for the free press. I mean, the fact that you're talking about my channel, what you're doing is you're bringing advertising to the channel. So I just want to say thank you very much. Now, as far as the insignificant part, at least my channel never had to be deleted for violation of the rules govern YouTube. Okay? Number one. Number two, yes, I am loved and respected by many people. okay, which includes the Latino community, the African American community, and the biracial and multiracial community. And I see here we have the presence of the 18th letter. Good evening, sir. Thank you very much for stopping by. Oh, and before I forget, I just want to let everybody know that Don Armando, um, the 18th letter, and Reese, they all have their YouTube channels. So I'm going to ask all of you, if you have not done so, to please subscribe, like, and hit the bell notification for each one of them and check out their content. Um, and I think you're going to be pleased with their material. Okay. So now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the link. Nope, no, it's not. I don't want to do that. Okay, sorry. Press the wrong button. Okay. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share some articles regarding what we can do to avoid depression during the holidays. Because again, as I stated before, for many of us, it's a happy time. But for some, it is not. Okay? And the sad part is that during this time of the year, between Thanksgiving and New Year's, cases of depression go up. And also suicides go up as well. Okay? And there are many factors regarding this. First of all, there is the case of death in the family, um, especially within the last couple of years due to COVID and other health issues, and the fact that many of us have lost loved ones either because of COVID or for other circumstances. Most of you know that in 2020, within a 6-month period, I lost my older sister and my mom. Okay. Also, for people who ended romantic relationships, it's a difficult time for them because when you think about the holidays, you think about being with your wives and your husbands and your girlfriends and boyfriends and what have you. Also, people who have lost their livelihoods, it's a difficult time for them. And when you think about being unemployed during the holidays, you have to think about the fact that you can't do a lot of the things that you would like to do. You can't buy presents. You can't really um, decorate the tree, decorate house, get a Christmas trees and things of that nature. So these are many reasons why people are depressed during the holidays. Now, I did discuss this last year, but I believe it's time to discuss it again. What I'm going to do is I'm going to load this stream in the Discord so that my friends that are on the Discord, if they don't have the opportunity to catch it live, they can catch it there. So, and I just want to acknowledge the fact that 4 people are coming watching the stream, and I just want to say thank you very much. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to read an article from John Hopkins Medicine, and the article is called 4 Mindful Tips to De-Stress This Holiday Season. Okay. Not feeling particularly cheery this time of year? You're not alone. Many find that the holidays bring as much stress as they do joy. But there are ways to ease through the season to help make the most of your festivities. I hope I mispronounced it. Never Gould, PhD, clinical psychologist and director of the John Hopkins Mindfulness Program at the Johns Hopkins University School of Medicine, shares some mindful tips. What is mindfulness? Mindfulness is bringing your attention to the present moment with the element of non judgment and acceptance. It is noticing when you get caught off in thoughts about the past or the future and returning our attention to the present, the only reality, explains Gould. While mindfulness can be a formal meditation practice, there's also informal ways to practice this skill. This can give us perspective and decrease stress. Gould shares 4 ways to make your holidays brighter. And here they are. Okay. Number 1, accept imperfection. Can we be good? Can good be good enough? As we gear up for the holidays, we often set the bar impossibly high for ourselves and then feel upset when our celebrations don't live up to our expectations, St. Gould. Before you start preparing, acknowledge that things may not go exactly as planned. It's okay not to be perfect. Imperfection is healthy and normal. For some of us, it might take a little practice. Remind. And we also have the presence of the one and only Golden Goddess. Good evening. Thank you very much for stopping by. And I just want to let everybody know that Golden Goddess also has a YouTube channel. And in my opinion, she represents the uh, biracial and multiracial community very well. And she does have a lot of material. So I'm going to ask that if you have not done so, please subscribe to her channel. If anyone wishes to join the panel, the link is there. If you're not able, I understand. You can also enter your comments as well. Okay. Okay. Now, number 2, don't lose sight of what really counts. Okay. With long lines and nasty traffic, the holidays can be hectic. When overwhelmed by the hustle and bustle, ask yourself, where does this fit in the grand scheme of things? Yeah, I know. That's so true. That's so true. And I think this topic is very appropriate. If you're frustrated by the long grocery line you're standing in, remember that it's just as long as a grocery line, nothing more. Don't let it spoil your afternoon. Can I use this moment of frustration as an opportunity to reflect? While the cashier rings up the customers ahead of you, take inventory of the good things that have happened today or the things you are grateful for. Okay. Even if the moment seems stressful, can I find a way to make it pleasant? Interesting challenge. Connect with someone else in line with a compliment or a kind gesture, or notice what around you with a fresh eyes and an open mind. Yeah, that's so true, DJ. That is so true. Okay. Number 3, respond with kindness. You can't change how others act during the stresses of the holiday season, but you can change how you respond to situations. Whenever I encounter a difficult person, I tell myself the person is suffering and that's why they're reacting this way. It softens my frustrations, helps me to be more compassionate, and reminds me that it's not personal, says Gold. Keep in mind that the holidays are especially difficult for those who are alone. See if you can extend an act of kindness to those you know are without family or friends during this time of year. If things get tense with someone, take a few deep breaths. Those few breaths can shift things and give you a new perspective, says Gold. Number 4, rethink your resolutions. Let me just, when it comes to resolutions, I try to avoid that because most of the time I don't succeed. Typical New Year's resolutions set up for failure one's goal. If you want to better yourself in the new year, follow these tips for success. Start small. Break your goal into tinier steps over the course of the year. If you weight loss is your goal, it doesn't have to be dramatic. Try to eat more veggies during the first month and gradually cut back on sweets throughout the next, such as gold. Be kind to yourself. If you didn't achieve last year's resolution or stray from the path this time around, let it go. We often contrive these stories. I'm never going to quit smoking. That only adds to my distress, says Gould. With practice, we can notice this self critic, let go of the activity, and pick up our goals back without the guilt of shame. And we also have the presence of the Blazing King. Good evening. Thank you very much for stopping by. And I just want to let everybody know that Blazing King also has a YouTube channel. He is a young um, member of the biracial and multiracial community who has a YouTube channel. So I'm going to ask that if you have not done so, please subscribe and give his channel a look. Okay. Now, let me just give you my take when it comes to this article. There's certain things that are beyond our control, and we have to learn to make a distinction. What's the difference? And we also have the presence of Smoothio. Good evening. Thank you very much for stopping by. I hope you're doing well tonight. The topic for tonight is how to avoid stress during the holidays. Now, as I stated before, the ways we can avoid stress is to make sure that our expectations are not crazy high. Make sure that uh, we are realistic. A good amount of patience will help along the way, particularly if you have to wait on long lines to go shopping or you buy presents. Okay. Generally, what I do is I try to buy my gifts online. And I usually do that in the month of November. And the reason why I do that, so therefore, when December comes, I don't have to worry about it. Okay? I can concentrate on, for me, what are the true meaning of Christmas, which is being with people that you love, the fellowship, and most importantly, celebrating the birth of Jesus. Okay. So the link is in the chat if anyone wishes to join the panel, or you can just continue making your comments. So now I'm going to share with you another article, and this is taken from My Health Alberta, okay, which is from Canada. And the article is called Quick Tips Reducing Holiday Stress. Okay. The holidays can be a joyful time, offering a chance to reconnect with friends and family. But they can also be stressful. You may feel pressure to buy and give gifts. Maybe you are worried about money. The holidays can also be hectic. There never seems to be enough time to get things done. Think about the kinds of events that can trigger stress for you during the holidays. Then you can focus on one or two things that you can do that will help you the most reduce stress. And I just want to acknowledge that now there's 6 people viewing this stream. And I just want to say to all of you, thank you very much. And Basin King, you're welcome for the shout out. Okay. Okay. And of course, what I would, I just want to let everybody know that also, if anyone feels generous, I have a Cash App. If anyone wishes to make a donation, they can do so at dollar sign cute1ny. That's dollar sign cute1ny. Now I'm going to share with you some other, how to prepare for the holidays. Knowing your spending limit. Lack of money is one of the biggest causes of stress during the holiday season. This year, set a budget and don't spend more than you plan. It's okay to tell your child that certain toy costs too much. Don't buy gifts that you spend the rest of the year trying to pay off. In my case, it's going to be easy, okay? Because basically, what I'm going to do is just get gifts for two of my siblings and maybe two of my nephews. Okay. Give something personal. You can show love and caring with any gift that is meaningful and personal. It doesn't have to cost a lot. Or use words instead of an expensive gift to let people know how important they are to you. Make a phone call or write a note and share your feelings. Okay? Get organized. Make lists or use an appointment book to keep track of the tasks to do and events to attend. Share the tasks. You don't have to do everything yourself. Share your to-do list with others. Spend time with friends and family while you share tasks like decorating, wrapping gifts, and preparing the holiday meal. Um, I live alone, so it's gonna be a little bit of a challenge. Well, we'll see what I can do. Learn to say no. Now that's something that's very important. It's okay to say no to events that aren't important to you. This will give you more time to say yes to events that you do want to attend. Yes, that could be a temptation um, to attend events that you may not want to do, but you feel like you have to attend because of guilt or something else. You have to be honest. If you don't feel like attending those events, don't. Just be nice about it and say, I'm sorry, I cannot. Uh, be realistic. Try not to put pressure on yourself to create the perfect holiday for your family. Focus instead of traditions that make your holiday special for you. And remember that just because it's a holiday, family problems don't go away. If you have a hard time being around your relatives, it's okay to set limits on your time at events and in visits. Okay, now this is very important, particularly if you have any conflicts with any members of your family. Excuse me. Just have to drink something. Okay. Holidays, being with family members that you have conflicts, that will push your anxiety high. Okay. The best thing you can do is try to limit your exposure because you have to think about your own mental health. Now, you may not be able to avoid stressful situations during the holidays, but you can plan to respond to them in a healthy way. Take breaks from group activities. Pay attention to your own needs and feelings. Spend a little time by yourself if you can. Meditate or do some relaxing breathing. Go for a short walk. Okay? Because the fact of the matter is, we all need a little alone time, particularly if we belong to a large family and it seems like we're always with somebody. Keep a regular sleep, meal, and exercise schedule. Limit your alcohol. Taking care of yourself will help you deal with stressful situations during the holidays. That's very important because at times we can overindulge, whether it be on the booze or on the food. Okay. Get support if you need it. Holidays can sometimes trigger depression. They can be especially hard if you're already dealing with the death of a loved one or the breakup of a relationship. You may feel embarrassed to ask for help, or you may think that you will get over the blues on your own. But most people need treatment to get better. Talk with your doctor about counseling and medicine for depression. So I'm gonna park it here. This is good. This is my take regarding this issue. Um, you do have to set realistic goals. Okay, and what are realistic goals? Goals that you know that you have a high probability that you're going to succeed. Okay, like for example, if you know that you're going to only spend say $200, okay, fine. You don't worry about spending $250. What you do is you try to keep within budget, okay? And if you can keep, go below budget, it's even better. Also, there are times when you need to be alone by yourself, and you need to find ways to depress from the stress. And the reality is, we all deal with stress every single day. Now, the stress levels are going to vary depending on your set of circumstances and also depending on the line of work that you do. You cannot avoid stress. However, with the proper mindset and the proper attitude, you can manage the stress. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share another article and I'm going to ask that if anyone wishes to join the panel, by all means, do so. Okay, excuse me. Now, this is an article from Mental Labs, and it was written November 16th, 2020, which, as we all know, that was during the heart of the COVID-19 crisis. Okay. And the article is 5 tips to managing stress during the holidays. The holidays can be a stressful time of year, and this year has been particularly stressful one. Not many of us are able to spend the holidays with loved ones or friends as we have in the past. That can add to feelings of loneliness and anxiety. Anxiety and stress are the biggest contributing factors to illness and bad health, especially for women in menopause. Stress hormones impacts the body's immune system on many levels. Chronic stress can lead to a buildup of toxins in your body from your brain to your skin. Stress can worsen sleep deprivation, increase blood pressure, and even impact the rate of hair loss. Well, as you can see, I don't have much hair left. If stress can impact all of these processes in your body, then what's the solution? How can you find ways to manage and release stress, especially during one of the most stressful times of the year? Okay. Nothing is more relaxing than doing an activity that you enjoy. Giving yourself time to escape from work can be extremely therapeutic. It can give you time to focus your attention on something else, something that your brain perceives as simple and enjoyable. So, whether you are an avid baker, a painter, or a yoga enthusiast, finding a hobby that you can do during the holidays can help lower stress. Make sure to engage in your hobbies frequently. If you don't do it every day, sometimes our lives don't allow it for that. However, if you can engage in your hobbies once or twice a week, you'll be surprised how much better you feel in the long run. You know what? To be perfectly honest, um, that's part of the reason why I developed a YouTube channel. Okay, and the fact of the matter is, it's it's a form of it could be therapeutic at times, particularly when you're dealing with people who are mature and you can share points of view. Okay, so that's the reason. Many reasons why I have a YouTube channel, even though one twisted individual calls it insignificant. But if it's so insignificant, why am I living rent free in your mind? Another thing you can try is music therapy. As cheesy as it sounds, holiday music can be a great form of stress relief. Now, we're not suggesting that that you listen to Jingle Bells or White Christmas 100 times a day, but listening to a nostalgic song every once in a while you can cause your brain to release dopamine and serotonin. Dopamine and serotonin are often referred to as happiness chemicals. These neurotransmitters help lower stress of hormones, help your muscles to relax, and lower your blood pressure. And I see here we also have the presence of Sean. Good evening. How you doing tonight? I hope you're doing well. And I'm sorry, but whenever YouTube will come, we have to announce that channel. And I just want to let everybody know that Keisha also has a YouTube channel, which is called Wine and FaceTime. And she's on every Saturday, usually around 8 o'clock. And she's also happened to be um, my union sister, one of my union sisters. So I'm going to ask, if you have not done so, please subscribe, like, and hit the bell notification to our channel as well. So therefore, whenever she does produce content, you will have the opportunity to catch it live or catch it on the playback. When all these processes occur, stress hormones levels are lowered. So if you're feeling tightly wound, put on a good Christmas song. Okay, I'm gonna now. Some of you may know or may not know, but what I do is this: when I get ready to go to bed, I have an Alexa. So what I will do is I'll ask Alexa to play some either meditation music or sleep music or something that's soothing and comfortable. And what that does, it helps me to go to sleep. Okay, and which is very important, especially during the holidays. The next thing we need to do is letting go of perfection. Every year seems like we're trying to somehow top the festivities of the year before. Now, there's nothing wrong with wanting to spend the holiday season in a well decorated and clean home. However, when preparing for the holidays, start to eat into time that would be better spent with family or time spent relaxing. It can be more stressful than enjoyable. Stressing over the color palette of the room or the spacing of the decoration is not time well spent. It's just another thing to channel your anxiety into. Letting go of the need for things to be perfect is a good first step toward finding other ways to celebrate and enjoy the holiday season. Remember, just because something isn't perfect doesn't mean it's any less enjoyable or special. Interesting point. And the fact of the matter is, um, instead of worrying about spending the perfect time, um, as far as the Christmas decoration, making sure the foods are great and what have you, just try to provide an environment where it's received, that is welcoming, okay, and food that that people can enjoy. Okay, as long as you do that, you'll do well. Okay. Now the next thing to do is to get up and move. One of the quickest ways to release stress and get a boost of added health benefits is to exercise. During exercise, our body releases endorphins, which are like the body's natural painkillers. Interesting. When endorphins are high, they bind into receptors in the brain that releases dopamine more effectively. The famous runner's high is the exact process. Exercising on a regular basis can actually boost and stabilize your mood. So even though the holiday season is packed with delicious treats, get up and get some exercise. You don't have to exercise every day, but getting up 20 minutes of some kind of physical activity is at least 4 times a week can help keep you healthy and lower stress. Um, to be perfectly honest, I'm gonna be okay. I don't tend to do much exercising during the holidays. I tend to do more eating, and I'm going to see if I can try to get some physical activity done on a regular basis, not just for the holidays, but on a ongoing basis. Um, so because I want to maintain good health. Now, here's another thing that's very important: have a regular sleep schedule. Stress and sleep deprivation have a close relationship. Chronic stress can lead to chronic sleep deprivation, and chronic sleep deprivation can cause stress levels to increase. They feed into each other, which can create a vicious cycle of extreme stress and little sleep, both of which can have detrimental health effects down the road. Maintaining a regular sleep schedule can do a lot to help lower stress and maintain your immune system. Sleep helps relax your muscles, reduces blood pressure, and maintain cognitive functions. Concentration and memory are greatly improved after a good night's sleep. Get into a regular sleep schedule during the holidays. Decide what time to go to bed. Set an alarm for the morning. Invest in some quality blankets and pillows and make your environment cozy. That's very important that we have a regular time of sleeping. Okay. And you do need to get some quality time in the bed sleeping. Okay. Now, the next thing is saying goodbye to stress. The holidays don't have to be a stressful time. Spending what time you can with family, you should be paramount, especially in times like these. We hope you stay safe, stay healthy, and have a healthy holiday season. Okay. Now, I'm going to give you um, my take when it comes to this article. Um, you notice that the same top things keep repeating again and again and again, which is you cannot avoid stress, but your approach to stress can determine how you're going to deal with it. Okay. And there's things that you can do to minimize that stress. And some of them is just simple, like making sure that you get a good night's sleep, making sure that you set realistic expectations. Try to set a budget for yourself and things of that nature. Okay. And to be perfectly honest, Christmas in 2020 was very stressful for many people um, due to the fact that due to the health crisis, you couldn't gather at restaurants or theaters and things of that nature. You have to do mostly everything via Zoom, and that was difficult. I'm not gonna lie, that was extremely difficult for me, especially um, with dealing with the depths of my older sister and my mom. So now I'm going to share another article. Again, the link is in the chat if anyone wishes to join the panel. Okay? Or if anyone wishes to add any further comments, they can do so. Okay? Hopefully, this will not be a monologue for me. But if it is, so be it. Okay? I can deal with it. Okay? So, this is from Prevention Magazine, and it's 11 things you stress most about during the holidays. And this was written by Holly C. Corbett, published November 20th, 2014. And you're going to notice, okay, okay. Now, the holidays are supposed to be a time of comfort and joy, but 90% of Americans report stressing over at least one aspect of the merry season. For all the chatter about nostalgia, family fun, and gift giving this time of year, many people don't like too much of a good thing, said Todd Marks, senior editor of Consumer Reports. Here are the 11 top things that Americans dread about Christmas, according to a survey by the Consumer Reports National Research Center. Okay, now let's see what they have to say. Right now, I see there are currently 5 people watching the stream, and again, I just want to say thank you very much. Okay. And these are the things that people are fearing regarding the holidays. Now, for 68%, it's the crowds and the long lines. Avoid the long lines with the smart planning strategies. Okay. One thing you can do is order online. In fact, that's what I do. Okay. Now for now for 37%, excuse me, for 37%, the big concern is gaining weight. Okay. Keep unwanted pounds away. Okay. Well, there's ways that you can avoid losing the battle of the bulge, which is one, portion control, two, try to get some exercise done, and try to find some healthier substitutes whenever possible. Okay. Now, for 37%, another issue is getting into debt. Okay. And the reason why, because unfortunately, people tend to go overboard spending money on Christmas gifts. Okay. The best thing you can do is try to develop a budget and live with it. Sorry. Just having something to drink. Non-alcoholic. Okay. So, how to avoid getting into debt? Live. You need to develop a budget. First, you take a look at the number of people that you plan to buy gifts for. Then you take a look at the actual budget, and then you do what you can to live within that budget. Okay, let's say you decide to buy gifts for 4 people, and you limit it to $200 in total. That means you spend $50. The most you can spend each person is $50. Okay, which means that's what you do. You don't spend 60 to each person. You don't spend 80. You spend 50 or less. If you can do it if you can spend less, wonderful. Okay. Another concern is 20% gift shopping. Okay. What you can do is either go online or start your Christmas shopping early in the year, like around October or even early November. For 25%, traveling. Okay. That could be stressful depending where you go and what is your mode of transportation. Okay, whether it be flying, driving, what have you. Okay. One thing you can do is try to give yourself extra time traveling because most likely if you get on a car or a bus, there's going to be traffic jams. So what you try to do is give yourself extra time. Now, normally it will, depending on, if you know that under normal circumstances it will take you 2 hours to get to point A to point B, in the holiday season, budget an extra 30 minutes to an hour. So that way, if you do hit a traffic jam, you'll still get to your destination on time. Now, for 24% of these people, one stress is seeing certain relatives. Okay. There's gonna be relatives that we're not too happy about. Okay. The best thing you can do is set boundaries and limit your exposure to these people. Okay. Now, for 23%, people are worried about seasonal music. I mean, let's keep it real. To be listening to Jingle Bells, Jingle Bells, Jingle All the Way, or Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer had a very shiny nose, ad nauseum can be very annoying. Okay? But try to keep your focus on where you're going and who you're going to be with. So hopefully it won't be bothered for the 89 million time that you hear Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, espero año de felicidad. Okay. Now, for some people, 19% of them are upset, worried about disappointing gifts. Okay. As long as your expectations are within limits, you won't, you don't have to worry about that, and just learn to appreciate those gifts that people give you. Whether it be that ugly sweater that you wouldn't be caught dead in, or whether it be that disgusting looking tie that looks like something the cat threw up, or maybe that chia pet that no one wanted, or that tin of fruit cake that's been passed around for 89 million years. Okay. Now, for 16% of you, people are upset with having to attend holiday parties or events. Okay, there is nothing wrong in saying no. Okay, and people have to accept that. Just be nice and say, thank you, but no, thank you. I have other engagements and whatnot. Now, 15% of people that get that bothered by having to be nice. Okay. Now, I get it. It's the holiday season. It should be a time of peace on earth, goodwill toward men, and all that sort of jazz. But you need to be yourself. And I see we have um, a guest. So before I let my guest in, I just want to let people know that the views of those who appear on the platform are not necessarily those of the host of the channel. Any attempt to copy the material without the consent of the host of the channel is prohibited. By appearing on the call, you waive your right to see the image. Okay? Some of the views that people might hold might be considered offensive to others. Some people. If you do not like the content, you can block the channel. So now we're going to see who this person is.
Boy, how you doing?
Good evening, Don Amando.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? Let me just do something that makes you laugh. So I was like, okay, Yosemite Park Chops, that's the name. But other than that, how you doing, Don Jose?
I'm doing fine. Right now, the topic is how to avoid stress during the holidays.
Well, I know how you could avoid stress from the holidays.
Okay? How?
Um, the gym.
Yes. In fact, that was one of the ways that we can avoid stress by going to the gym and being physically active.
Yeah,
Now, what I was just reading is certain things that people get nervous about during the holidays,
right.
and among them is the crowds and the long lines, gaining weight during the holidays, getting into debt, gift shopping, traveling, seeing certain relatives, seasonal music, disappointing gifts, having to attend holiday parties or events, having to be nice, and holiday tipping. Now, as I stated before, okay, supposedly the holidays, and particularly Christmas, is a time of peace on earth, goodwill towards men. Sometimes we don't feel like being peaceful.
I'll tell you a part of my story.
Okay.
For like for years, like after my mom passed, right? I could,
Hmm.
I people could be celebrating the holidays around me, but I didn't really feel like it.
Of course.
Yeah, so it continued. It even continued like even though I went with my wife, and I remember it was like for her it was a sad New Year's Eve.
Hmm.
And I was there,
Yes.
so it was like before like when it was when I first met her mom's was like in July of 2014.
Hmm.
So I went to meet her grandfather like around in November and such. And on December 31st, I was up in Tosca's in the Bronx.
Yes.
That's when my wife received the sad news. So I was there for that. So
Hmm.
with that said, it was just like, you know, like me personally, I was in my own, even though it was Noche Buena for for us Latinos, and I went to like her father's crib, whatever, and then I went somewhere. Like I think I went somewhere. I forgot. I don't know if I went to my cousin's house or my sister's house. I know I went somewhere around those days.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, me personally, I didn't really feel like in the holiday spirit to begin with because even though I got gifts or whatever, it wasn't the same. So I can't really say that I got out of that mode like around maybe 2016, 2017. That I got out of that mode of not caring about the holidays because I just take it as a face value. It is what it is. I can't really be I guess I have a new outlook on it that I don't really care about the money or whatever the case may be. I just want to see my family. So my thing is it's like okay, certain people it's like to me if certain people in my family they want gifts, I mean y'all have everything. I don't. So I can't really be like, hey, I'm gonna gift you something when you already have it. So I guess that's the situation when you have older siblings that make more money than you. So therefore, it's like, what's the point of even getting them something when they already have it?
Yeah.
So that's my thing. And second of all, I'll be like, okay, when it's pertaining to my wife understands and I understand. So I guess we have that certain thing. So I could say that our gift to ourselves last year was when we went to Florida.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't really say like, oh yeah, we're gonna give everybody everything because I I could have a whole bunch of family members, but nobody ain't give me nothing. So they're like, hey, we're gonna give you something like, okay, what? You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So it's just in that aspect, I'll be like, all right, I'll just go eat, I guess Christmas dinner or whatever the case may be, and that's it. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
be expecting gifts because technically we if we want gifts, right, we could work for it, get our own, and basically that's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, 2020 was, of course, a difficult time for for many of us because we have lost loved ones, and then in my case, I lost my oldest sister and my mom 6 months apart. And of course,
Right.
with COVID, we couldn't gather. So basically, um, from like about 7 or 8 o'clock onward,
Yeah.
I spent Christmas Eve alone. And then when it comes to New Year's, it was done virtually, but it was not the same thing because I was not with my family. My mom was gone. My older sister was gone. So it was a very difficult and depressing time
I I
for.
mean I mean when it was first COVID that happened, I'm not gonna front. I I did miss my family because I didn't go into New York in those days. I went like around I'm trying to remember the 28th because I had to go into New York and I just left right out because of whatever. Because I had to go to my uncle's funeral that he passed on the 17th of December.
Mhm.
So I saw most of my family. We went pay our respects, but I couldn't hang there that long because of COVID restrictions and all the other stuff. So we had to be there and be out. And I missed half my cousins because of that.
Yeah,
I mean, on my father's side.
yeah.
So
Well, yeah. Well, you see, now there's a reason why I decided to discuss this topic. Now, in all fairness, I did discuss it last year, but this is a topic that we need to discuss this every year
I
because,
mean, you have to.
yeah, because from Thanksgiving to New Year's, for some people, this could be the most loneliest and depressing time. And unfortunately, the suicide rates go up during the holidays.
Sadly, that is true because I could tell you it is rough when you have certain people that you hold dear pass away, and then sometimes you have a stage of bewilderment, like what I'm going to do because that person's not there anymore. You don't know if, and then on top of it, COVID, it had a lot of people bewildered because of the gathering and people were afraid of catching COVID, etc.
Yeah.
So it sometimes bewilders a person when I mean in the first days of COVID, couldn't see your family, and then on top of it, the loneliness and I guess depression. I guess all that sets in, and a lot of people they don't see it.
Mhm.
They just think that they're strong and everything, but then then it hits you.
Yeah. And you know what could be it could be hurtful when you are experiencing estrangement from family and friends that you love and care about very much, but because of disagreements and what have you, they avoid you like the plague. And
Oh, oh
you
yeah,
know,
that I've seen that happen.
yeah. And what's the sad part is that when two people are no longer friends over something that could be resolved, if they simply had a conversation regarding it and just discuss it as adults.
Yeah, but then it goes back to what you always say, Don Jose.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to take accountability, and that's why
Yep.
and that's why things prolong each other. That's why wars prolong. That's why hatred prolongs, and on top of it, that's where I guess rivalries prolong because if two people went up and they just talked, a lot of stuff will be clear in the air. I'm not gonna go around and promise that okay, there will not be rivalries or anything like that, but at least two people just talk to like adults. But since certain people they don't want to be accountable for what they do or have done, that's why we see stuff in with amidst with confusion within families and friendships broke
Yeah.
have been broken because of it. So,
Yeah.
but the main thing is that now nobody wants to take accountability for anything.
Yeah. And the fact of the matter is, tomorrow's not promised to promised to you. Okay. So the worst thing that can happen is if one person gets into an argument with someone and they don't want to talk with that person, and that person dies, that person is going to spend the rest of his or her life thinking that they didn't take the opportunity to be reconciled when they have the opportunity. And that's going to be the worst thing in the world.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
I mean, and it's sad, but it's just that that's nature. That's where we are today, where we have people who cannot forgive, cannot sit down and discuss logically and rationally. Okay, I did not like what you did because of A, B, and C. Okay,
Yeah, but then if you actually look at it, You have certain people that they just you know, they just can't stomach the responsibility or whatever the case may be.
You know
And
what? That's true.
I mean, when you actually talking about depression, right?
Hmm.
Depression could actually have a lot of factors.
Yes.
Maybe a person might have feel sad because stuff is not going for them anymore. Maybe that person might feel sad because that person left, or they feel abandoned.
Yeah.
And sometimes depression is sometimes that a person might feel sad and they don't know why they're sad or anything like that, but it just comes on them.
Hmm.
So you have a lot of you have a lot of people, and especially within the Caribbean realm, I actually talk to a lot of all my friends. A lot of people within the Hispanic and Caribbean cultures, they don't really they don't really look as mental health as anything, because you have certain people that would say that, oh yeah, you crazy, oh just do this or just do that, and then they might even bring more symptoms of mental illness. So
Hmm.
when a person talks about mental illness in certain communities, that person might be shunned by their family who they thought that they could confide in. So it could be also societal pressures too, or why people are depressed or something like that during the holidays, give or
Yeah.
take.
Yeah. Right now I'm seeing a therapist because I have been through so much stuff. Okay. w- with these last couple of years. Um, I'm not gonna lie. Some of it I am responsible for. Okay, and I'm willing to and I take accountability for my actions.
Right,
Unfortunately, there's certain things that have been thrusted upon me beyond my control,
right.
and it's just that sometimes it hurts, but you have to um, take things one day at a time, and you value those who appreciate you and accept you for what you are.
Yeah.
So I can just imagine the first year that after your parents passed away. The holidays were very stressful for you.
Well, when it was my mother, yes, it was. When it was my dad, I can't really say it was stressful because, you know,
Hmm.
since my dad was living in the Dominican Republic, so most of the times that my dad was in the Dominican Republic.
Yeah.
So me and my dad, we always used to talk, but then or call each other within the years, because when he got older, he did get sick, and when he did come over, he couldn't really spend too much time in New York because of all his time that he was working in New York
Hmm.
for some
Yes.
reason. And then when he came to the Dominican Republic to retire, his bones and everything like that. That's what a lot of people, they just don't, when you working in the cold and stuff in New York, and then when you retire, like to a warmer climate, it could affect your bones too.
Yeah. That's true. Um, that that is very true. Um, but what helps if you acknowledge your problem,
Yeah,
and then you do seek help. Okay.
Yeah,
And then one thing, and I just want to let, if there's anyone in the audience, um, whether catching this live or catching on the playback, if you feel overwhelmed um, because of circumstances beyond your control, whether because of a death of a loved one, or the end of a friendship, or the end of a relationship, or a downturn regarding your finances, uh, there are people that you can go to and seek therapy and help you to deal with it. So, and there's nothing wrong to admitting that you need help. Unfortunately, we are in a society, particularly for us, where it's a sign of weakness if we acknowledge that we need help.
yeah,
Yeah. Particularly for the Latino men, because we're supposed to be macho, we're supposed to be tough, we're supposed to be fearless, and what have you. So, for us to admit that we are having struggling dealing with depression, particularly during the holidays, because that's a time when supposedly everyone is also supposed to be happy. What people don't understand, for some people, this is not a happy time.
yeah.
So, again, if anyone wishes to join the panel, the link is there. Now, I do see that there's 7 people watching the stream, and I just want to say thank you very much. If anyone has an opinion, they can enter in the chat. Just keep it respectable. Now, if you disagree with what we are saying, okay, fine. Explain where we're wrong, but explain it intelligently. Don't get emotional. Okay. Don Armando, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay. So, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I'm going to place. Okay. I'll probably place this this stream in the Discord. I think I know how to do it. So some of our friends in the Discord can have an opportunity to watch this, even though I did send the link to a few people in the Discord. Because the fact of the matter is, this is a topic that we need to discuss every year. Okay, because every year there are people that are struggling with depression during the holidays. And unfortunately, sometimes people choose how to deal with the depression by what I call self deletion, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's been how should I say, a lot of people that have participated in self deletion because they think that life is too much.
Yeah. And they don't think that their life means anything.
Yeah,
Okay. And for some people, um, that's their only means of escape, which is why weeks ago I did a stream regarding suicide is not the solution. And me and Keisha actually share our own personal stories, uh, how we dealt with suicidal thoughts. So I'm just gonna ask, you know, those of you who have not seen it, if you can, try to spend some time watching the stream. Also, I also share some resources for those who are dealing with suicidal thoughts. Of course, there's the suicide hotline. Um, for those who are thinking about it, here in New York, we have NYC Well, um, where people can get counseling. Um, in Philadelphia, are there any mental health resources for those who need it?
I'm not really too knowledgeable if there's too many how should I say, if there's any stuff right there, but I know whenever I go within the subway in Philadelphia, I see the 1-800 numbers for help for self deletion.
Yeah. Well, if you go into my stream regarding suicide is not the solution, you're going to see like about 9 or 10 different resources to help people deal with those thoughts. And you know, there are different places. Depending which state that you're from. Of course, there is the self deletion line, and again, here in New York is NYC Well.
Yeah.
So, and I want to make this perfectly. I want to make this perfectly clear. Okay, we're not here to pass judgment on anyone that's struggling with depression. Okay, because that's a difficult turmoil. What we try to do is like help people to deal with stress and how to avoid depression during the holidays. Okay, at least things is not as bad with COVID, but even still, the fact of the matter is, you know, we have all lost loved ones or known loved ones that were, know people who lost loved ones to COVID-19.
Yeah.
So, and the fact of the matter is this: it's very important to set realistic expectations regarding the holidays. Okay, and when it comes to people that you really don't want to associate with, and this is pertaining to family. Try to set boundaries and limit your exposure as much as you can. Okay. Now, Donna Bongo, do you have family that you prefer not to deal with during the holidays?
Well, not really, because I don't, I don't know, because it's like I have family. We're happy to see each other, but if people don't want to deal with me, I'm not going to force the issue. So it's not like, okay, I have to see them or anything like that, because any family that I guess I won't have to deal with, they don't really come to Christmas functions anyway. I
Yeah,
so I don't really have that problem.
yeah. Well, I'm going to share with you some of the things that I do to deal with stress. First of all, when it comes to Christmas shopping, I try to get that done in the month of November.
Yeah.
Okay. And I do my Christmas shopping online. Okay. And the reason why I do that online is that because first of all, I avoid the lines. Okay.
Right.
I avoid the nasty sales clerks. Okay. And and in my case, I don't have a long list of people to do Christmas shopping for. I mean,
Exactly.
I'm just gonna buy gifts for uh, two siblings and a niece
Yep.
and two nephews, and that's it.
Hmm.
That's it. Okay. And the reason why I do that in November, so that way, when December comes, while people are going crazy trying to do their last minute Christmas shopping and what have you, and worrying about getting that gift that they know they're going to go into debt until July of next year. Um, I'm just thinking about what is for me the meaning of Christmas. This is the birth of our Lord and Savior Jesus. Okay, and being with family. So I intend to um, spend Christmas with my siblings. Now, I might spend Christmas Eve with one and Christmas Day with the other. Um, okay. And I see here we also have the presence of MK Echo Chamber. Good evening, sir. Thank you very much for stopping by. I hope that you are enjoying the topic, which is how to avoid stress, how to avoid depression during the holidays. Okay. Now, this week, it's kind of a a mental health week because on Thursday I'm gonna be talking about cyber bullying, which is something that um, people at times have been the victims of. We have seen it sometimes here in these YouTube streets, particularly with some people who, let's see, how could I say this? Okay, that need to be placed in a rubber room with a straitjacket, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, of course. Joker syndrome.
Yeah. Well, it seems like my friend Hybrid is the mulatto version of Kim 123.
Okay. May I say something about that dude?
Yeah,
In all respects to that fart bag, um I I've always heard of his name, but never really cared to actually do research on that individual anyway, because it's like, why even give them free promo or
yeah,
anything of that matter? Because at the end of the day, like there's certain people that I might mention because, because of my personal struggles or whatever the case may be. But one thing that we have to do is we have to stop promoting these fart bags. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Because these fart bags are insignificant, and by the time we have like maybe 500 or 5,000 subscribers, they're going to be in the dust with their own pages turned off, or you know just making imaginary systems to try to tell people who they are or who they're not. When the fact is, they didn't find a country or a culture to begin with.
hmm yeah. Well, the way I look at when it comes to certain individuals that have issue with me and they talk about me, what they're doing is just give me free press.
And don't forget something, Don Jose.
Yes.
People that talk behind your back or talk about you, they're in a great, they're in a great position to kiss your behind.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. But I okay. I look at it this way. Okay, in life, you're gonna have certain people that all you can say is bless their hearts.
Yeah,
Okay, that's all you can say.
exactly.
Okay, and just concentrate on being the best version of you. So I'm just gonna go and just be the best version of Jose Negron, which
That,
means producing content which hopefully people will like, that people can respond well to, and can share their point of view.
yes.
And if we disagree, fine, we can disagree and be respectable about it. There's no need to be going back and forth and arguing all this and all that sort of stuff, because I see that. I mean, if you really are into righteousness and people arguing, there's literally millions of YouTube channels when you can do all that to your heart's content. Okay, but I decided long ago, okay, that when I have my platform, okay, that it's going to be a safe space
Hmm.
for mature people
Hmm.
to express their point of view.
Exactly.
Okay, and if we disagree, okay, fine. Let's see where we disagree and how we can come up with some sort of a logical solution. Okay, that's that's the bottom line. Okay, and I believe in going the high. No, no, this remember what Michelle Obama said: when they go low, you go high. You take the high road.
Yep.
Okay, okay. People who go negative, okay, they don't get far in life. Okay, and in fact, all they do is just keep getting facing disappointment, disappointment, disappointment. Okay,
Right.
that's the bottom line. Okay, so it looks like no one else is going to join the panel. Now, I think you have a couple streams going on this week. Am I correct?
Yeah. I'm about to have open topics on Thursday, and then on Friday, I'm gonna interview an artist from the Dominican Republic. So
Okay.
stay tuned.
Okay. Well, on your Thursday stream, most likely I'm gonna have to catch it on the playback because I'm gonna be doing my stream regarding cyberbullying.
Right.
Um, so that's good. I think so. That's something that that we do need to discuss. I'll probably do a stream on Saturday regarding open discussion. Um, and then of course I'll have my normal Tuesday, Thursday, and we'll take it from there.
Yeah.
So, do you have anything you wish to add regarding the topic?
Yeah. I mean, another thing is too, as far as stressors, sometimes you might how should I say, have that certain individual in your job that don't like you because of whatever reason. Ignore them also because you can't be stressing of where you're making your money at. And, you know, at the end of the day, You can't go and try to stress on what people's perceived notions of you are. So if you actually feed into the negativity of a person, or why a person does not like you, that could actually bring more stress within the holidays too, because certain times you have certain people that have a preconceived notion about you without even knowing you. I even have like two individuals in the gym that I don't really talk to, and they have a
Hmm.
preconceived notion, or they don't want to hang with me, or whatever the case may be, which I don't care because I'm just there to work out. So,
Okay.
so my thing is that don't let a person's hatred or preconceived notion try to change your mood or anything like that, because that's one thing that certain people, they get really catty when it's around Christmas time or holiday time, I might say. So you have a lot of you have a lot of those negatives vibes around the holiday times also.
That is true. That is true. I remember someone said this, and it's very true. Hurt people hurt people. Okay, because when you are hurt emotionally, mentally, spiritually, at times they're not going to feel good until they can hurt somebody else.
I mean, I could say this, and God forgive me for saying this, but this is what happened.
Hmm.
When I'm hurting stuff, usually we try to take it out on the people that didn't hurt us, because and then people that didn't hurt us, they become the brunt of our rage or our anger and everything.
Hmm.
Um, I went up and I kept it very simple after my mother passed, because there's certain stuff that happened right after my mother passed that I was angry about. So
Okay.
during my anger, I didn't really have a, like how certain people have a certain time to mourn and everything like that.
Yes.
I didn't have a good time mourning. I didn't have that time to mourn, because you had a whole bunch of people that's trying to tell you what to do, or they're trying to tell you how to feel, or whatever the case may be. When your mom or your dad passed away, and that's to me, I think, was one of the most disrespectful things to actually do to a person who actually lost somebody. So,
Hmm.
with that said, when hurt person hurt somebody, when I was I guess in that time, I just went up and I bled over the person that hurt me. And what I
Hmm.
mean is, so that an innocent person won't have to feel the brunt
Hmm.
of anything. I know morally it was wrong now looking back at it, but at the time I was like, I was gonna go do that, so therefore an innocent person won't have to be within that firestorm. So at least you could keep it with that person, because
Hmm.
because a person who's innocent and don't know what's happening, and then you gonna give that hurt to that person is not good at all, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, when you are hurt or you are depressed, at times you're not able to think logically, or at times you don't think about the consequences of those actions until after the fact. And then sometimes those consequences can be major. And
Yeah,
which is why you don't make any major decisions when you're upset or when you're depressed or when you're down. Because what happens is you're going to make poor choices in your decisions. And definitely do not make a decision when you are under the influence of either alcohol or a foreign substance, because your thought process is out of kilter.
Oh yeah, that is true.
Okay. Which is why, in my case, and again, me, when I'm upset, the worst thing you can do is try to talk with him. The best thing you can do is just leave me alone for a while so I can calm down and I can say calmly, what you did upset me because of A, B, C, and D. Okay.
Right.
And then it's up to you to either accept what was said and then take the necessary actions to not to repeat those same mistakes, or um, disregard what the person is saying. Which is why, again, you do not make major decisions when you're upset, when you're mad, when you're under duress, you're under the influence.
Yep.
Okay. Um, do you have anything else that you wish to add?
Yes,
Okay,
I do.
go ahead.
Um, another thing that I have to say to alleviate stress. I mean, depending on anybody who's depending on a person's belief or anything.
Yes,
One thing that I could actually say that is actually comforting. I'm just saying for anybody, you know, whatever their faith is to pray.
I agree. I agree.
Because prayers is actually comforting to the soul.
Yeah, and believe me, I have done quite a bit of praying um, regarding my emotional trauma, um, whether it be struggling with the loss of my mom or my sister, whether it be the strain of people that I care about, and the fact that there's only so much that you can do, which is why you have the serenity prayer, which is you ask God to change what's within your means of changing, accepting those things that you cannot change, and to properly discern, to distinguish the one from the other.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but but this holiday season, uh, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to keep things in perspective. Okay, meaning I'm going to spend with those of my family who will break bread with me. Um, and as far as you know, other YouTube creators, I do have many people who love me and accept me for what I am, and that if I should fall below the expectations, that they'll be able to calmly and explain to me where that I failed,
Yeah.
and that those who are not able to accept my imperfections, it's their issue, not
Yeah.
mine. Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else? Anything else you wish to add?
I think I've said it all, Don Jose.
Okay. Well, first of all, I do appreciate all the people in the chat. I do appreciate you stopping by. Okay. Like I said, unfortunately Thursday I have a stream, so I'll probably have to catch yours on the on the playback.
Right.
Um, so I just want to acknowledge. Let's see, some people like MK, you, Blazin, Smoothio, Gigi, Keyshawn, the 18th letter, Reese from Philadelphia, the chat. And I thank you, Don Armando, um, for visiting my cyber home. And what we can take from all this is that it could be very difficult at times to avoid depression, particularly if you experience the loss of a loved one, the breakup of a relationship, the ending of a friendship, especially when it's beyond your control to try to resolve. Um, Also, the loss of employment. Um, the key to avoid depression or stress during the holidays is try to keep things in perspective. Um, Try to keep your expectations within limits. Um, Try not to go overboard when it comes to buying gifts, and also learn to say no when you need to. Okay, and again, the fact of the matter is, regardless of what is your religious views, um, the bottom line is try to be good to yourself, because if you're not good to yourself, you're not going to be good to others. So I just want to let everybody know that after the stream, if you wish to enter a comment, um, you can do so. All I ask is please keep it respectable, because if it's not respectable, it will be deleted. So that being said, there won't be a backstage tonight. Um, do you want to say anything about your channel before you go, Don Armando?
Well, if you'd like to visit my channel, please like and subscribe. I'll try to bring content which is positive and not ratchet. But if anybody comes with negativity in my page or call me by my own government name, you will be blocked. That's the only rules that I have.
Okay, fair enough. And I would strongly suggest that you abide by those rules. Okay. So that being said, I'm going to close the same way I always close. Let's be good to ourselves and to each other. And this has been another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. And I bid all of you a very good night and peace out. Be strong.
Yeah, I could actually say that was a good show tonight.